Hello and welcome. This video is specifically for friends and family to whom I have sent these kind of respirator masks and these masks. So I've got a list of points to go through. So this quick overview of this mask, very comfortable to wear. That's the nose bit there, which you can adjust. Got a metal strip in the bottom and the chin bit there, so this should be on the right hand side. Now I've sent you hooks, and what I do is with this one I put that through there and then over there like that, so that's solid, and then that pokes upwards and it goes like that round the back of your neck, and then I put them over the top of my ears, but you'll find that there's just less stress on your ears, and I'll come to it in a moment how to put them on and take them off properly, but that's that for the moment. Right, inside here goes the filter. This one needs washing, but I always put a date on here, and the filter goes in. Just fold it up a bit like that. There are 3 layers here, so you've got the 3 cotton layers, and then this is a 4 or 5 layer filter, but it's not fine enough in itself to stop the virons of the particular thing that we're trying to stop, and I'll come to details about that in a moment. So I actually wear these. You'll get that straight pretty easily. I always wear these with one of these medical ones as well. Yep, you see I've updated that as well. And I wear that like that, and I will put a hook on this. I've got some sterling silver ones here, but I couldn't send them to all of you because I've only got about a dozen, and they're silver, and they're what I make jewellery with, so that goes on there. Right, now if I'm going into a crowded store, the very least I'll go in with is 2 of these, but I've sent some of you liners. Now the liners are these. They are meant for one use only, to put in here and then throw away. But there's 2 there, and I've stitched them across the top. You notice these here are holes. So I've stitched it right the way across the top, and on the bottom I just tack it, just in the corners, and that's it. And lengthways it's exactly the right length of the mask. So, by the way, my hands are scrupulously clean. I've just scrubbed them for a full minute with soap and water and a scrubbing brush, but just to show you, I have a lot of this stuff around, but I've actually just done the proper course and got my certificate of participation. So you put a good dollop of this stuff in there, and then you rub your hands like that, and then like that. Alright, thumbs, hands like that, and like that. You know how to wash your hands, but you just do that and you keep rubbing till they're dry, basically. Get your fingernails in there like that. And that's that. I am very fortunate in that I stocked up on this stuff before the prices went through the roof, because travelling in some of the places I do, it's easy to get dirty. I have this, and I have it on my belt. It's very, very handy. The mistake a lot of people make, the thing they forget to do, is clean this out of the actual bottle. And clean the things that they use to clean, and clean things like your phone very often. Right, so back to the masks. That, like that, okay, with the clips, That's pretty straightforward. Now, so it's either one of those on its own with this, or those together. Right, now looking at the actual filters themselves, the masks themselves. These masks, right, it's got 3 layers, and that will stop particulates down to quite a small size, but not good enough for what we're trying to stop. And the same with this. It's not fine enough, but there are 5 layers here. The middle one being activated charcoal. And what we're looking at essentially is probability, because it's not that they're not that big. I mean, the filters are not tight enough on these or the liners in themselves to stop the virons, the particles that this particular thing consists of. I don't want to name it because this channel keeps blocking videos which don't fit with the guidelines of certain organisations. So yes, no more freedom of speech. Anyway, what's next? You can wash these. You're not supposed to, but what I do, I use them, and then when I come in, you take them off by the ears. Yeah, you wash your hands first. Take your gloves off, and what I do, I don't use plastic gloves. I mean, I do occasionally, but I have lots of pairs of gloves, right? Leather gloves in particular, and we've got lots of different pairs. And when I come in, I take this, before I take my gloves off, I spray them all over and then rub them all over with this. It's undiluted Savlon, and then I put them aside and I rotate them, and I've got several pairs, so I never wear the same pair for 2 trips, and I'll leave them for 3 or 4 days, and that should ensure that any pathogen on them is dead, or not dead, because you cannot kill a virus because viruses are not alive, but I'm not going to go into that right now. So what else is there to cover? I've got my list here. Okay, so putting on and taking off. Yes, glasses. Don't forget to clean your specs, folks. Again, once you've taken your gloves off and taken your mask off by the ear loops, and I will, as I say, if I've worn this on the inside of this, I won't worry, but if I've worn those without anything, I will do the same. I will spray it with Savlon, and then I will leave it. I will generally leave it on a radiator or something. Not necessarily because the heat helps, but just because that's a good place for me to leave them and rotate them. And this is due for a wash. I have another type of respirator mask which I use. I alternate, and I've got another fabric mask which I also use. So that's that. But my glasses, I will generally either spray these like this, and or I do all this before I scrub my hands, or I will use alcohol wipes, alcohol lens wipes, which I have lots of. I always have boxes and boxes of those things. So that, I think, is more or less it. Just talking about the size of the particles. The thing is, they're tiny, so you need, it's all about probability. The more layers you've got, the greater the probability that the particles will be caught. So that's that. Final word, soap kills them because this particular thing is wrapped in an envelope that's made of fat lipid, and soap destroys fat. It's that simple. And if it's alcohol hand scrub, it needs to be high alcohol content. That's it, folks. I might make a short video. This one's gone to 10.5 minutes, but I'll leave it there. I hope it's all clear. Give me a ring if it's not. Thanks.